Hello friends, let us now learn some important points about the now we will learn about somatoform disorders in this lecture, but there are two words which are important, that is deja vu and Jamais view. Deja vu is familiarities of unfamiliar things, whereas Jamais view is unfamiliarity with familiar things. So types of these two are dissociation disorders which have high anxiety, and they are also associated with temporal lobe lesion. Then the next important thing is somatoform disorders. So in the somatoform disorders, according to DSM-5, somatic symptoms related disorders are called as somatoform disorders. So here definitely there will be somatic symptoms. So these here the patient presents with physical symptoms, but these cannot be explained by any medical condition. That means these symptoms cannot be explained by any medical condition. So first we have somatization disorder. In somatization disorder, so first criteria of somatization disorder includes, if we see the criteria of somatization disorder, that is there are mainly three main criteria. So that is in criteria include, we have 4 pain symptoms, that is pain is present at 4 different sites, and we have 2 GIT symptoms like nausea, vomiting and belching disorders, 2 GI symptoms, or there may be 1 sexual symptom like erectile dysfunction or ejaculatory disorder. Then we have the patient may have one pseudo-neurological symptom like weakness or visual disturbances. If any of these symptoms are present for 2 years, then we can classify the person as somatization disorder. So here what the patient does is he goes and visits multiple doctors. He refuses the assurance of the doctors. Though all the investigations, he does multiple investigations, and all the investigations comes to normal, so the doctors try to assure them, but still they still feel that they have some disorder. So that is somatization disorder. Treatment for somatization disorder is psychotherapy. Then we have second disorder, which is undifferentiated somatoform disorder. In undifferentiated somatoform disorder, here if multiple physical symptoms are present, then this results in undifferentiated somatoform disorder. Here the criteria of somatization is not fulfilled. That is undifferentiated somatoform disorder. Then the third disorder is hypochondrosis. In the hypochondrosis, here fear of having one or more serious physical illness or deadly disease. In hypochondrosis, there is fear of having one or more serious physical illness or deadly disease is hypochondrosis. Here in hypochondrosis, the patient feels that they have some cancer or some disease which will take away their lives. Like thinking of that diagnosis, they will undergo multiple investigations, though all of them come to be normal. They visit multiple doctors and they believe that they have some serious physical illness which might lead to death. But this belief is not fixed belief, it's not a delusion. So though they have because whenever they get normal investigations, then they have doubt about their belief, but still they continue believing about it. So according to the recent DSM-5, that DSM-5 has replaced it by illness anxiety disorder. Then we have the next disorder, which is body dysmorphic disorder. This body dysmorphic disorder is very close to obsessive compulsive disorder. And in body dysmorphic disorder, here the patient feels that his image is not good. There is a defect in his body or in his appearance. That is body dysmorphic disorder. there is a problem in hair, skin, or his nose. So that is body dysmorphic disorder. There is one more thing which is called as body dysmorphic delusion. In this body dysmorphic delusion, the patient has a belief that there is a defect in his body appearance, and this defect is fixed and it is hiding, and he goes on he goes to surgeons and requests to get surgery. So that is body dysmorphic delusion. The difference is in body dysmorphic disorder, he just has a defect, feeling that there is a defect in bodily appearance. It is not so strong. Then the symptoms of hysteria will differ from hypochondriosis in sudden dramatic onset with stress, lack of any pathophysiological processes. In hypochondriosis, the problem occurs with stress. That is one important thing. In somatoform disorder, then stress is not much, it does not play a big role here. Then the next disorder is somatoform autonomic dysfunction. In somatoform autonomic dysfunction, we have palpitations, tremors, sweating, and belching are seen in the patient without any organic disease. Then the next disorder is persistent somatoform pain disorder. Here the patient presents with persistent and unexplained pain. And according to the DSM-5, it is put under somatic symptom disorder. It is put under somatic symptom disorder. Then we have the next one, which is pseudocyesis. In pseudocyesis, here the patient has false belief that she is pregnant, and the patient also shows objective signs of pregnancy, like she becomes her abdominal enlargement occurs. Though the umbilicus is not everted, there will be decreased menstrual flow in the patient will have amenorrhea, and the patient will also have subjective sensation of fetal movements. She will have breast engorgement, and even there will be labor pains which are also observed at EDD. So truly she is not pregnant, but because of her mental illness, she feels that she is pregnant, and her body projects in all these ways. Then there are other neurotic disorders also. The other neurotic disorders includes neurasthenia. Neurasthenia shows here there is complaints of increased mental and physical fatigue after mild efforts. This neurasthenia is associated with muscular aches, pains, sleep disturbances, irritability, dyspepsia, headache, inability to relax are seen. The patient has headache, inability to relax. So all these are seen in neurasthenia. Then the second neurotic disorder is chronic fatigue syndrome or myalgic encephalomyelitis. This chronic fatigue syndrome or myalgia encephalomyelitis is seen most commonly in the Western patients with severe debilitating fatigue, malaise, headache. It is seen in headache. The patient also presents with pharyngitis, fever, and cognitive complaints, and GI symptoms are seen. It is just that the patient always be fatigued and tired always with some vague symptoms. That is chronic fatigue syndrome. Then this hypochondriosis, according to DSM-5, it is replaced by illness anxiety disorder. Now the next third neurotic disorder is culture bound syndrome. In culture bound syndrome, the first syndrome is Dutt syndrome. So Dutt syndrome is first in India. Some of the male patients feel that if they are passing semen in the urine, that will cause physical and mental weakness. They believe that they are passing semen in urine, and that is causing physical and mental weakness. That is Dutt syndrome. Second, Coro syndrome. Here the patient has a fear that his penis retracts into the abdomen, and this will result in his death. Then the next syndrome is Lata syndrome, where there is autonomic obedience, echolalia, and echopraxia is present. Autonomic obedience is they do repeated things even though it hurts them. For example, if you ask the person to stand on some or put a hand on the, if you ask the person to put a hand on a needle, he continues to put the hand on the needle even though the needle is hurting him. That is autonomic obedience. Echolalia is mimicking the examiner's words, that is repeating examiner's words is echolalia. Echopraxia is repeating the examiner's actions, is echopraxia. So that three together we call it as Lata syndrome. Then we have the fourth neurotic syndrome, which is factitious disorder, which is also called as Munchausen syndrome or Munchausen syndrome by proxy. So this factitious disorder, Munchausen syndrome and Munchausen syndrome by proxy, here there is a the patient starts producing falseful medical symptoms for getting medical attention. Here in Munchausen syndrome, the patient starts producing falseful medical symptoms for getting medical attention. That means they know they were fine, but still they go to different doctors explaining their conditions. This is mainly done for primary gain, because the sympathy and the empathy that the doctors show on these patients, they feel it, they feel psychologically happy. So for that primary gain, they do this, they go to different doctors. This is also called as doctor shopping or hospital addiction or professional patients or pseudologic fantastica. Pseudologic fantastica. Now, so these are the main factitious disorders. Then you should differentiate this from malignancy. In malingering. In malingering, there is fakeful production of medical symptoms for secondary gain. Here the main thing is they, for money or for secondary gain, they started producing medical symptoms fakefully. That means, for example, mother adds blood to the urine of the baby. Okay, that is Munchausen by proxy. That is only for primary gain, right? Only for sympathy and empathy, but sympathy and empathy that she gets, for that if she adds, that is primary gain. If she does it for money or for some property, then that is malingering. That is the main difference. So these are the somatoform disorders and neurotic disorders. Thank you for watching.